Day trading recap, July 30th, 2019. Alright, so a couple days left in the month. I've been away on vacation, so I'm glad to be back in trading, and I have a trade today to show you, go over why I got in it, and why it ended up being a really good trade. And I actually had a little bit of a entry-exit error that caused me a little bit of pain, but not much, and I'll show that too, because that happens if you're day trading. You're eventually gonna have a hotkey error or some kind of error, which all of a sudden you're in a stock and you don't know how you're still in it. It happens sometimes. So first off, Under Armour had a pretty interesting day today. I can show you on the I don't think it was earnings. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. But it went down a lot. So if you look at the yearly or the daily chart, you could see, I'll tighten this up, you can see it was moving along. These are daily, each one of these is a day. It's a daily chart, and a big drop today. So it dropped all the way down to about 2285, right in that area, almost down to the 200 moving average. And you can see it did actually kind of touch the 200 moving average. It's a significant average on the daily chart. It's also something I use on the 5-minute chart. I think it's a big moving average no matter what, but on the daily it's very significant. So you see it drop down, and then it actually had a recovery day. So it dropped down, it was below VWAP. It started out green, but then dropped below VWAP, then pulled right back up above VWAP, then broke the high of the day here. So here would have been a good entry to get into Under Armour, right here around 2328-ish. You'd have to have a big stop, maybe put it down to about 23, let's see, 2320 something, 22, yeah, so maybe like a 40-cent stop or more. So that's pretty big, but it was moving a lot. So 2320 area, and it moved all the way up to, I think the high is 2435, so about $1, a little over $1. So something was moving it, and it had a big down day and then recovered. I didn't get in that trade though. I did get into MDR. Now, MDR is a stock, is an oil and gas stock, and I got into this one because it had earnings. I think it had earnings. Did it have earnings? Yeah, it had earnings after hours yesterday, and if I can show you on a 30-minute chart. So after hours, you can see here, close of the day, 4 o'clock, big drop. So it dropped a ton yesterday after when earnings were released. And you can look on the yearly, you could see what happened here on the daily chart here. So it had broken the 200 moving average a few weeks back, and then earnings right after close yesterday, boom, big drop. All the way down through the 200, down through every moving average that I use on a daily chart, which is the 20, the 50, and the 200. And you can see it broke all those. So I was watching it today. So in the pre-market, I took note of it because there was a lot of action going on in the pre-market. And you can see it had a big red candle. Like, I avoid the early parts of the day because it's just, there's no telling what could happen here. Everything moves too quick for me. I don't like it. I like to wait for setups. So it was a little choppy. It was above VWAP, below VWAP, above it again, busted below it, came up, hit its head on it. I almost thought about going short here, especially since on this chart I like seeing when the 8 catches up to a stock that's dropped a ton and the 20 starts moving close to it. Usually right at this point, if it's going to drop, this is where I get in. And I didn't get in. I think the reason I didn't get in was because it was moving. This is just ugly. If it was moving smoother as it was approaching this moving average, if it was like if it didn't have all these down tails, up tails, these topping and bottoming tails, I would have probably considered it. But you can see it's up, it's down, then it's back up, retracing back to the 8, and then looks like it's about to drop here. And then if you got in short here, you got screwed. I just noticed it here, and I said this looks more to me like something that could turn around because it had dropped so far. And I was watching it how it behaved around VWAP. So it broke through VWAP, hit its head, started going down again, but came back up to VWAP, and then it broke above it. And that's when I took notice, because then I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, got in probably sooner than I should have waited for it to break this high right here. But I got in right after this little yellow doji here below VWAP, because I said it broke above it, had some action here, and then I said I'm going to get in here. I'm going to put a tight stop on it. If it fails to continue up through VWAP again, I'm out. And I got in at 616, and I said if it gets even down to about 605, like barely a 10-cent stop on it. So 616, and what happened, it did jump up after that, a little 2-bar pullback, and then it continued up, and then a big green bar here. And that little bull flag area is where I got happy, because I said, all right, good, I can take some out here at 637, right? My first target was right around there. Held on to a few shares, and then took the rest out at 644. So 637, 644. So a 21-cent gain here, from 616 to 637, and then the rest at 644, which was almost a 40-cent gain, 38 cents. So both of those were, both of my exits were exactly where I wanted. First target, around the first target, and then around the second target, or a little above the first target. I think my second target was actually up here. And what happened was, when I exited the second half of my shares, I actually put in the wrong amount, and I ended up going short on like just about less than 10 shares or something like that, just a fractional amount of shares. And I didn't realize it at the time, and I saw my P&L on my other page was still moving. I said, what's going on here? So unfortunately, I shorted them, actually, where I got out my long shares and got back out here. So it was literally just a few dollars. It wasn't anything major, because the fraction, it was just such a small amount of shares that I had. So no big deal there. I wasn't too hurt by that. It's a pain in the butt, but that happens. But it happens. I wish I held on to my shares, because you can see I got out here. If you look closely, I can kind of tighten this up. If you look closely, I got a little nervous when I had this pop, and then it came back down with a red candle, and I got out here, all my shares, and then you can see what it did right after that. It kept going back up. So I kind of got deked a little, but now you can see it's probably not going to go up much further. So not a big deal. But yeah, that was my trade. Hopefully be back tomorrow with another one. Look how important VWAP is. I say this all the time, but VWAP is such a good indicator, such an important moving average. Once it makes a significant break of it, and it's got the momentum, like it could take off. So not a bad trade. Yep, that's it. See you next time.